Hi, it's the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. Welcome back to another Leaders and Communicators session for you. And we're continuing on with our storytelling. This is part 3 of an ongoing series of helping you be a better storyteller, because I believe in the power of story. Story is so influential in our lives, from movies to TV to just barbecue discussions around the backyard. We love hearing the stories of grandma and grandpa and our uncles and family members. Story is huge. So today I want to give you some ideas of the tools that will help you actually become a better storyteller. It doesn't just happen overnight. At least it didn't in my life, and in most communicators that I talk to, storytelling needs to be developed. So I'm going to give you some practical tools to help you do that here today. Now, the number one tool, first of all, is practice. If you're not a good storyteller, if you don't use it very well in your communications, just practice it. Just start including it in your dialogues, in your day-to-day discussions. Practice in front of a mirror or on a video camera and see if you make sense, if it's light, if it's fun, if it's engaging. There's a lot of things you're going to get into, and one of the things we're going to talk about in another session is the use of our voice. Because storytelling, besides just being a speaker, there's other things that go on when you're storytelling. But I'm going to give you some other tricks of the trade here that are going to help you out here just a little bit. So how do you improve these skills? First of all, learn about plot lines. Now this is really easy to do today. You don't have to go farther than your own DVD. You probably have a favorite TV show that you like, and you usually have the behind the scenes director cuts and commentaries. They will tell you about the bell curve that's in every storyline. You start the story at one side, it's the introduction. It gets a little bit intense. They usually have the trouble, the issue, the traumatic event. The top of the bell curve is where you hit the peak. It's out of control. You don't know which way it's going to happen. And then the bell curve begins to come on down. Now, some stories will have twists and side parts, so you may have a couple bumps along the road. It's more of a roller coaster than a bell curve. But then you get to the resolution. You come to an end. Now, in most TV stories today, it's not like the old days of Leave It to Beaver, where they come to a clean end. It's usually an ending for that segment with a little bit of a story cliffhanger, which I am going to talk about in just a few moments here. One of the other ways I want to help you understand how to do a story better is to understand about movie scripts. Now, movie scripts are amazing, and you can get them for free. Did you know that? If you understand the plot, the characters, the development, and the flow of a story, of how professionals do it, it will help you be a better communicator in understanding how to weave your story. Because there's a way to tell a story from your family heritage to bring into a message, and there's a way of crafting it into an exciting, captivating story. Movie scripts, TV scripts can really help you do it. Everything from character, the plot twist, to those cliffhangers that I talked about, and even the resolution or the action. And there are key words they use. They're descriptors. And I really encourage you, and I'm going to put on this video at the end in the notes, links to let you go get free movie scripts. There's several ones that I've used in the years of doing this, both as a broadcaster and as a communicator, that have really been helpful. Plus, I like working on scripts, all right? That's one of the hobbies, that's one of the pastimes of how my mind works. Now, the other way that I think might be kind of funny for you to think about is comic books. All right, you probably think I just went over the deep end. I'm a pastor, I'm a communicator, I'm a leader, and comic books for kids. No, they are not. Comic books are an amazing thing to get your brain engaged in story with both visual and words. But there's a secret of comics that I want to tell you about. Not many people understand this because it happens intuitively. There's an area on the comic book that's called white space. That's between the comic panels, and you have the space. Now this one happens to be black on this one, but there is actual white space in the story, the gaps between panels. Now, a comic book forces you to use your imagination in understanding the story. You read one bubble, you go to another bubble, and in between is a gap. It's like in TV. The commercial break is a white space, a transition point to another event, another location. Your mind has to figure out how to tell that story itself. It engages the listener or reader in imagination. and they fill in the blanks. You can do that as a communicator. You can do that in a presentation. When you tell a story, you don't have to give them all the details. Just give them what they need to know and let their mind, their imagination, fill the gap of that. It's exciting to see them come alive and realize, oh, I see it this way. You see it that way. Oh, did you realize this? When the imagination is engaged. And those are just a couple simple tools that help you out. So again, let me go over this. Movie scripts are great. There's a site that I would encourage you to go to called scriptcity.com. Again, this will all be down in the notes. One of my favorites is Planet of the Apes. They have an actual site for the TV series, the movies, the pre-production, the movies that were never done. So if you want to know about the one that was Mark Wahlberg film and the other ones, you can do that. Save the Cat is a wonderful book. Save the Cat is about story development, and it helped me many years ago in understanding story and how to craft a story. Highly recommend the book. Just Google it. You'll find it on Amazon. You'll find it out there. And one more resource to help you out here is Understanding Comics by Scott McCloud. And he helps you understand comics by telling you it in a comic. So as you learn about white space and you learn about narrative and word bubbles, he actually takes you through a comic book that helps you understand the whole thing. Very creative, very well done. Now, let me leave you with this one. We're going to pick this up next time. But one of the best tools you can use with your voice as you tell your story is a cliffhanger. Cliffhangers are wonderful because it drives you to your life group maybe. It might drive you to next week. So next time, come on back and we're going to talk more about the power of your voice in storytelling and how to get your crowd so engaged that when you leave them, you don't give them the ending. You leave them wanting more for the next time. And this works extremely well if you're speaking in a conference for a couple of days when you can have them dangling, waiting for the next part of the story. That's it for today. I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager. I hope to see you back here next time for more leaders and communicators. And we're going to talk more about the power of story.